Hi everyone, and welcome to The Vintage Company. I'm Julie and I'm a business historian, and as we move closer to fall and Halloween, I wanted to share some spooky or creepy vintage ads from my collection. Now, some of the ads were specifically created for Halloween, but others were just ordinary advertisements. Take this one for example. This is a 1936 ad for Teak, once one of the best-selling toothbrushes in the United States. Teak was owned by Johnson & Johnson until 1966, when it sold the division to the International Latex Corporation. This ad is for the new style of Teak toothbrush, smaller and specially shaped to get into the so-called tartar curve, the area behind your teeth that other brushes allegedly miss. There is nothing about the ad that is intentionally scary. Well, besides tartar causing you to lose all your teeth. But there's something sinister about the lighting in the photo. It looks like a still from a classic black and white horror movie. And perhaps more disturbing, the contrast makes the toothbrush bristles look almost like a third set of teeth. Beware of tartar, but also maybe beware of this toothbrush, just to be safe. Speaking of classic horror movies, this next ad for Veedol motor oil is giving me some major John Carpenter vibes. Can you guess what film I'm thinking of? We'll come back to it in a moment. Veedol motor oil was developed in the 1910s and had the distinction of being used in Henry Ford's famous Model T automobile. This particular 1941 Veedol ad shows a woman being scared by her car and the realization that due to rationing of automobiles, the family car would have to outlast World War II. The big takeaway from the advertisement is that you should take care of your car using Veedol motor oil. But when I saw this ad, I was immediately reminded of the 1983 John Carpenter horror movie, Christine. Based on the Stephen King novel by the same name, Christine tells the story of a malevolent 1958 Plymouth Fury that has a life of its own. Christine will stop at nothing to keep her owner, a high schooler named Arnie, all to herself. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. And though the Veedol ad predates the 1958 Plymouth Fury and is intended to playfully scare consumers into buying motor oil, both the ad and Christine bring an inanimate automobile to life for the car's own purposes, sinister or otherwise. Our next ad is from Peck, a women's clothing retailer that once occupied New York City's glamorous Fifth Avenue. Peck had a reputation for elegant sportswear, and the company claimed to have introduced cashmere sweaters and trench coats to American women, two items that remain fashion staples today. Right away, I am loving the look featured in this 1948 Peck ad. The heels, the skirt, the blouse, right up until we get here. A distorted face that makes up half of what Peck called a bewitching holiday twosome. Now, I'm not sure if the face is a jack-o'-lantern or a mask. The way the model is holding the face makes me think it's a jack-o'-lantern. And though I usually think of jack-o'-lanterns as looking more like this or this, there are plenty of examples of more grotesque and, well, scary versions from throughout history. Aside from calling the couple bewitching, Peck makes no further mention of the mysterious face. Whatever's happening in this ad, I recommend the woman keep the clothes and ditch the date that's Halloween, or else she might end up as jumpy and frightened as our next ad. This 1948 Sanka coffee ad is not specific to Halloween, but is all about being afraid. Here we have a man late at night, dressed in his pajamas, sitting upright in an armchair and looking fearfully at a dark figure in the window. The ad reads, "When it's late at night and you're roaming around because you can't get to sleep, the slightest sound may take on a scary quality. You imagine things you would never think of if you weren't so tired and edgy. But why, you ask yourself, are you so jumpy and wide-eyed? Could it be the coffee you had? Are you perhaps one of those who love coffee but are made nervous and sleepless by caffeine?" The point of the ad is you can stop restless nights and caffeine-induced jitters by switching to Sanka brand coffee. Sanka is decaffeinated coffee that was first introduced under that name in 1923. The name Sanka is actually derived from the French words for without caffeine. Now, if the character in our ad can switch to decaffeinated Sanka, he can finally get a good night's sleep. But I don't know about you, but if there was a mysterious figure stalking outside my window, I might want to wake up. Unless, of course, it's the stalker from our next ad from Mars Candy Bars. Now, of all our ads, this 1955 Mars Halloween ad is the least spooky, though it does have a slightly creepy element. Mars was first founded as the Morrow Bar Company by Frank C. Mars, but it was reportedly Frank's son, Forrest Mars, who had the idea of putting chocolate malt into a candy bar that we all know today as Milky Way. Milky Way appears to be the star of this particular ad, but we can also see Snickers and two candy bars that I was not familiar with, Forever Yours and Mars Coconut. Forever Yours is a dark chocolate Milky Way similar to today's Milky Way Midnights, and Mars Coconut is similar to today's Hershey Mounds. Now, I love the artwork in this ad. It's beautiful and it's effective. It makes me want to go buy a Milky Way bar. But there are some interesting things going on here. There's a supernatural quality in that the stalk of corn has come to life and is evidently able to eat a Milky Way bar without hands or arms. But what really stood out to me is the tagline, "Sweet Stalking." Now, this is a pun substituting stalking for sweet talking because we have a stalk of corn eating a candy bar. But stalking to me has a very creepy connotation, like having a stalker or stalking your prey. I don't think we need to take this ad too seriously since it's supposed to be a pun, but the kid might want to take his candy and run before the stalk of corn finishes his Milky Way. Otherwise, the stalk might be stalking him next. Our last ad is another Mars product and brings us all the way to 1987. Fun fact, did you know that M&M stands for Forrest Mars, the son of Mars founder Frank Mars and co-inventor of the Milky Way, and R. Bruce Murray, the son of the president of Hershey's? This advertisement was for an M&M's promotion where you could send in 3 M&M wrappers plus $9.95 and get your very own M&M branded wristwatch. Designed to look like a horror or monster movie poster, the creepiest part of this ad has to be this extremely long arm, curled like a snake or worm, reaching into a bag of plain M&Ms. The taglines read, "Coming soon to an arm near you, just when you thought it was safe to roll up your sleeve, and get it before it gets away." This ad is a ton of fun. It even has reviews from the likes of Delicious of Candy Times, I Ate 'Em All, Pounder Bag of Snack Previews, and Charles Dickens. If this movie was real, I might have gone to see it. But this ad personally does not make me want to buy an M&M's quartz watch. I think the arm has enough for both of us. Thank you so much for watching. I love Halloween and I loved putting all these ads together. I'll have some more Halloween themed videos coming up soon, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Thank you again and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay spooky.